The average smartphone in America gets replaced every 2.5 years. Think about that for a second. People spend anywhere from $800 to over $1,500 on a device, use it every single day, and then replace it faster than they replace most household appliances. Meanwhile, refrigerators often last more than a decade, and some cars stay on the road for 15 years or longer. Now, here's the strange part. The tiny computer inside your pocket is incredibly powerful. In fact, many smartphones today have more computing power than the computers that helped NASA send astronauts to the moon. Yet, somehow, after only a few years, they start feeling old, slow, and frustrating to use. Maybe you've experienced it yourself. One day, your phone feels fast and smooth. Apps open instantly. Everything works exactly the way it should. Then, a year or two later, the battery drains faster, the device feels sluggish, and suddenly you're looking at advertisements for the newest model. It's almost like your phone wakes up one morning and decides it doesn't want to do its job anymore. If phones could talk, yours might say, "Sorry, I can't open that app right now. I'm busy being old." But here's the question that bothered a lot of repair experts and technology researchers. Why do so many phones seem to hit these problems around the same stage of their life? Why isn't it completely random? Why does it happen to millions of devices all over the world? Most people assume it's simply because technology moves quickly. New phones come out every year, so naturally, older phones become outdated. That's the explanation we've heard for years. And on the surface, it sounds perfectly reasonable. But when you start following the money, another picture begins to appear. A picture involving billions of dollars in annual sales, repair restrictions, battery replacements, software updates, and companies that depend on customers upgrading again and again. So are smartphone companies really designing phones to break after just a few years? Or is something much smarter happening behind the scenes? Something that makes you want a new phone even when your current one still has plenty of life left in it? Most people believe there's nothing unusual happening here at all. Phones get older, new models come out, and eventually you upgrade. That's how technology has always worked, right? Every year, companies promise better cameras, brighter screens, faster processors, and longer battery life. So replacing your phone starts to feel like a normal part of life. And to be fair, there is some truth to that idea. Smartphones today are genuinely more powerful than the ones from 5 or 10 years ago. A phone that once struggled to take a decent photo can now shoot videos that look like they came from professional cameras. Technology really does improve. So when your current phone starts acting up, most people don't question it. They assume it's simply getting old. After all, batteries wear out, storage fills up, and software becomes more demanding over time. It sounds completely reasonable because, in many cases, some of those things are actually true. It's similar to owning a car. After years of driving, parts eventually wear down and maintenance becomes necessary. Nobody expects a car to run forever without repairs. So naturally, people apply that same logic to smartphones and assume what they're experiencing is just normal aging. Then there's the battery. Almost everyone has experienced the frustration of watching their battery percentage drop faster than it used to. One minute you're leaving the house with 80%, and a few hours later your phone is desperately searching for a charger like it's running a marathon. And when that starts happening, many people begin thinking about an upgrade. Not because they necessarily want a new phone, but because using the old one becomes annoying. Convenience is powerful. Most people would rather avoid frustration than spend time researching repairs. That's exactly why the Surface story is so convincing. Every problem has an explanation that seems perfectly logical. Slow performance? It's old. Battery issues? That's normal. Expensive repairs? Technology is complicated. Case closed. Or at least that's what most people assume. But once you start looking at the numbers, things become a lot less straightforward. Because if smartphones are simply aging naturally, why do so many companies make enormous amounts of money when people replace devices more frequently? Whenever you want to understand why something happens in business, one of the best questions you can ask is simple: who benefits? Because while technology is built by engineers, business decisions are usually influenced by revenue, and smartphone companies are some of the biggest businesses on Earth. According to industry data, more than 1 billion smartphones are sold worldwide every year. That's such a huge number that it's hard to picture. Imagine handing a smartphone to every single person in North America, South America, and Europe combined. You'd still have phones left over. Now, think about what happens if people stop upgrading so often. Let's say instead of replacing phones every 3 years, consumers start keeping them for 6 years. The number of new phones companies can sell suddenly drops dramatically. That's where a conflict begins to appear. Consumers generally want products that last as long as possible. Companies, on the other hand, make money when customers eventually come back and buy another product. Those two goals don't always perfectly match. Let's look at a real example. During fiscal year 2024, Apple generated roughly $201 billion from iPhone sales alone. Not total company revenue, just iPhones. That's one product line producing more money in a year than the entire economy of some countries. To understand how large that number really is, imagine spending $1 million every single day without taking a break. It would still take more than 5 centuries to spend $201 billion. That's how much money flows through one smartphone business in a single year. Now, imagine millions of customers deciding to keep their phones for just one extra year. Not 5 years, not 10 years. Just one additional year before upgrading. Suddenly, billions of dollars in future sales start getting pushed further into the future. That doesn't mean companies are secretly plotting against customers, but it does mean they have a strong financial reason to make new devices look attractive. The easier it is to convince people to upgrade, the more money flows back into the business. Now, let's talk about the most important component inside almost every smartphone battery. It's called a lithium-ion battery. That's just a rechargeable battery that stores energy by moving tiny charged particles back and forth. Nearly every modern smartphone uses some version of this technology. The important thing to understand is that batteries naturally wear down over time. This isn't a conspiracy theory, it's chemistry. After around 500 full charge cycles, many smartphone batteries fall to roughly 80% of their original capacity. In simple terms, they can't hold as much energy as they once could. And here's where things start getting really interesting. If a battery is one of the main parts that wears out first, then replacing that battery should be one of the easiest ways to make a phone last several more years. In theory, that's a simple solution. But over the years, many smartphones became harder to open, harder to repair, and sometimes surprisingly expensive to fix. And when repair becomes difficult, a lot of people stop asking whether their phone can be saved. Instead, they start asking which new phone they should buy. And that's where this story takes a turn that few people see coming. The turning point came when repair technicians started noticing a strange pattern. Many phones arriving at their shops didn't have major damage. The screens worked, the processors worked, most of the hardware was perfectly fine. Yet, customers were being told it was easier, cheaper, or safer to buy a brand new phone instead. For decades, repairing electronics was normal. If your television broke, you fixed it. If your radio stopped working, someone repaired it. But somewhere along the way, many modern gadgets stopped feeling repairable and started feeling disposable. One reason was design. Smartphones became thinner, lighter, and more water-resistant. Those improvements made devices look better and survive rainstorms, but they also made them harder to open without special tools. Think of it like building a race car. You can make it faster and sleeker, but every design choice involves trade-offs. In many cases, easier repairs ended up losing those battles. Then came another issue. Some replacement parts became difficult for independent repair shops to access. If you couldn't get the right component, even a simple repair suddenly became much harder. Imagine taking your car to a mechanic and discovering only the manufacturer was allowed to buy certain replacement parts. Most people would find that ridiculous. Yet that debate started happening in the smartphone industry. This led to something called the right to repair movement. The idea is simple. If you own a product, you should have a reasonable ability to repair it, either yourself or through an independent repair shop. Supporters argued that longer-lasting devices save consumers money and reduce electronic waste. Critics worried that unauthorized repairs could create security risks or affect product quality. Regardless of which side you agree with, one thing became clear. Repairs weren't just a technical issue anymore. They had become a business issue, a legal issue, and even a political issue. And while that debate was happening, another force was quietly influencing how long people kept their phones. Software. Most people think of a phone as hardware. The screen, battery, camera, and processor. But software is what tells all those parts how to work together. Without software, your phone is basically a very expensive paperweight. Every year, companies release software updates. Many of these updates are genuinely useful. They fix bugs, improve security, and sometimes add new features that didn't exist when the phone was first sold. But updates also create an interesting situation. New software is often designed with newer hardware in mind. As the years pass, older phones sometimes have to work harder to keep up. It's similar to asking a 10-year-old laptop to run the latest video editing software. It might still work, but it won't always feel smooth. The software isn't necessarily trying to break the machine. The machine simply wasn't built for everything that came later. That creates a powerful psychological effect. Even if your phone still works, it may no longer feel exciting. And when something feels outdated, people naturally start looking for an upgrade. Companies understand this better than anyone. That's why product launches focus heavily on what's new. Better cameras, better screens, better artificial intelligence features, better everything. Here's the clever part. The goal isn't necessarily to make your current phone unusable. The goal is often to make the next phone feel irresistible. Because convincing someone to replace a working product can be far more profitable than waiting for it to completely fail. And that brings us back to the money. If customers upgrade every 2 or 3 years, instead of every 6 or 7 years, revenue arrives faster and more predictably. From a business perspective, predictable upgrade cycles are incredibly valuable. Investors love predictable revenue because it makes future earnings easier to estimate. That doesn't automatically mean companies are designing products to fail. But it does mean there are strong financial incentives, encouraging faster replacement rather than maximum longevity. And now we arrive at the part that changes how most people think about this entire story. The biggest threat to smartphone companies may not be broken phones. It may be satisfied customers who keep their phones for a very long time. Think about it. A phone sitting in your pocket for 7 years is fantastic for your wallet, but that's 7 years without another major hardware purchase from you. So the real question isn't whether phones are secretly programmed to self-destruct after 2 years. The evidence simply doesn't support that idea. Batteries wear out naturally. Hardware ages naturally. Technology improves naturally. The more interesting reality is that the entire industry benefits when replacement feels normal. Through design choices, marketing, software improvements, and consumer habits, upgrading becomes part of the culture. In other words, your phone may not be designed to break after 2 years, but many parts of the system are designed to make replacing it feel like the obvious choice. And that's what makes this story so fascinating. The smartest strategy isn't always making a product fail. Sometimes it's making people believe they're ready for something newer before the old thing is truly finished. So here's my question for you. What's the longest you've ever kept the same smartphone? And did you replace it because it actually broke, or because you simply wanted a newer one? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoy simple explanations that uncover the money and psychology behind everyday things, consider liking and subscribing. There are plenty more stories hiding in plain sight.